Hello, good morning guys, welcome to the 3D market commentary for today. I just realised I had a shadow on my face. I'm going to see if I can move that and maybe not have a shadow on my face. Or I will. Okay, there you go, we've got a shadow on my face today. Hopefully you can still see me. So, my name is Becky, my email address is becky@tradictive.com. So you can get hold of me on that. We do these 3D market commentaries in the morning to go through an email that we send out. And we send that email out every day that's got information on 5 of the major markets in the world. So we'll go through that email in a second and we just expound on it and explain how we came to the conclusions that we did. If you have any questions about what we go through or anything that I cover or the apps that we use or anything like that, you can email me, becky@tradictive.com, or you have this link here, tradewithufos.com/Becky. So let me just show you what that looks like. So that would be here. you come to this this link, and you'll have this bit at the top where you can set up your free Trade with UFOs membership. Once you've got your free Trade with UFOs membership, you'll get a few things, such as the email that I'm about to go through. You'll get that every day, recordings of our YouTube sessions, reminders for our YouTube sessions, and also you'll be able to ask a question here. I would prefer you ask a question here, and the reason for that is because if you ask a question in a public space, I can answer it in a public space, and then other people learn from the answer as well. So get yourself a free Trade with UFOs membership, and then ask a question publicly if you can. If not, you can email me, becky@tradictive.com. So just go back to our PowerPoint here and make sure that we cover the disclaimers. So they are being highlighted there at the top. Of course, important for you guys to understand disclaimers, whether or not, legal purposes, yes, but also to understand when we do these kind of videos, they are demonstrations, not recommendations. Okay, so let's show you that email that I've been talking about. So we have that there, which obviously corresponds with market data. It goes through 5 of the major markets in the world, and we look at 3 key elements for each. First thing is, where is that market upcoming direction, market climate? Should we be buying, should we be selling? Do we have probabilities up or probabilities down? Or maybe not enough probabilities either way. Now we use an app to help us with this piece of technology called the AutoUFO app. And what this app does is it scans through the market and comes back and says to us in the form of dots, different colours, different sizes, where we have probabilities. So it could be that we have a thick blue dot, and therefore it's telling us that we have probability upwards. It could be a thick red dot, and it's telling us we have probability downwards. Or it could be a thin dot of either colour. The fact that it's thin is telling us not enough probabilities either way. Ignore the lines for now, we're just looking at the dots. So we use this to help us figure out, should we be looking to buy, should we be looking to sell? And again, it's a free app that you can download to help you do that. Then we want to know, if we're going to buy, where are we going to buy? If we're going to sell, where are we going to sell? And this is where our buy and sell UFOs come in. Now UFOs, much as they do look like little flying saucers, UFO actually stands for unfilled orders. Meaning, what we want to know is, are there orders in the market? Are there buy orders in the market that can push it up? Are there sell orders in the market that can push it down? And we should be aware of where they are, so that we can buy where there's loads of other buying, because it's much more likely to beat the sellers and push price up. Or we can sell when there's loads of other selling, because it's more likely to push beat the buyers and push price down. So again, we want to know where we're going to sell, and we use our UFOs that highlight for us the price, as well as exactly where the range in price is, so where we find those buy and sell orders, so we can buy with the buyers and sell with the sellers. Okay, last things last, we want to know market volatility. Essentially, how quickly can we expect these markets to move, and therefore what's the associated risk or reward. So we look at that per market. So let's start with the first market, which is the S&P. Now we're looking at daily charts for each of these markets. Of course, different things happen on different time frames. So you might be trading smaller time frames or bigger time frames. Different things happen on different time frames, but daily's kind of in the middle there, so hopefully that helps you out. What we're also doing is looking at continuous futures contracts for each of these markets. So for example, with the S&P, the S&P 500 is the top 500 US stocks in an index. We're looking at the ES, which is the futures contract, the continuous futures contract that represents that. If you don't understand anything I just said, just understand we're looking at a representation of US stocks. So when it comes to US stocks, we have a current upwards climate, thick blue dot, probability upwards. Usually this market would go up for 9 candles. I know it says 8.79, but I'm just rounding up there. Usually it goes up for 9 candles, and we're on candle number 2. So that climate, and we have probability that it continues up based on what usually happens. Now, buy and sell UFOs, we have no sell orders, nothing above us, but we do have buy orders, which are just here at 4202.50 to 4120.50. So that's where we have our stack of buy orders. So again, overall probability there to the upside with the S&P. Climate is up, probability that it continues based on what usually happens as buy orders just beneath us. In terms of volatility, we would expect it to move up or down in one day of 46.53 points. In a week, it would be up or down of 102.42 points. And in 1 month, up or down of 213.21 points. So again, overall probability to the upside there with the S&P based on the technology that we use. Again, I said probability, not definite, not guaranteed. We still manage our risk just in case, but of course if we're trading, we want to trade where we have probabilities, and in this case with the S&P, probability upwards for the time being. Okay, so the next market is oil. Let's have a look at that. In the meantime, it says there about the courses that we provide. We do courses in stocks, futures, forex, back testing, trading plans, psychology. So you can register for any of our courses there if you want to do those. Most of them come with 3 months free access or complimentary access to the apps. Now, AutoClimate is a free app on most of the platforms you can use it on. AutoUFOs, depending on which platform you use it on, it's a different cost. For TradingView, which is the one I'm using here, it's $34 per month. Now, a lot of our courses might be $34 or $89, a one-off fee. So in purchasing a course and getting 3 months access to the apps, you're actually getting, it's actually cheaper in terms of getting access to the apps. So if you want to just get the apps, getting a course might be a cheaper way of doing it. But of course, if you're going to take a course, take a look at the ones that are going to make more sense to you and help you out best. Okay, so oil. We have a probability upwards. Now the difference go up for 7 candles. That tells us that we have gone past what is usual in terms of an expected move to the upside, meaning we would be more likely to expect it to change direction as opposed to continue. So still overall probability to the upside, but be aware it's likely to come to an end soon based on usual movement. In terms of buy and sell UFOs, we have sell UFOs just above us here at 69.90 to 68.46. At 62.43 to 60.61, and we're kind of in the middle there. So at the moment, not close enough to either stack of orders to push us up or down. Of course, we may get new orders in the market that change things, but the way it is right now, probability upwards on the climb. Not as many as we'd like. In terms of volatility, we'd expect movement up or down in 1 day of 1.55 points. In 1 week, it would be 3.40 points up or down. And in 1 month, 7. As it says there, you can just subscribe to the UFOs. $34 a month, different prices on different platforms. They come with different features, so you can check out on our website as to which platforms you use and which ones you think would make more sense for you. Again, AutoClimate is a free app, AutoUFOs is a paid for app, and they come complimentary for 3 months as part of most of our courses, so you can check those out as well. So gold, we have a confirmed upwards climate again, thick blue dot, probability upwards. Usually the market would go up for 7 candles, and we're on candle number 5. So again, probability that it continues at least for another day or so. Then we have our buy and sell UFOs. Sell UFOs a little way ahead there at 1929.6 to 1907.5. And buy UFO here at 1788.1 to 1769.2. And again, we're kind of in the middle there, not close enough to either of them for them to have a real difference today, most probably. Overall probability up there with the climate then. In terms of volatility, we expect movement up or down in 1 day of 19.05 points. In 1 week, up or down of 41.93 points. And in 1 month, up or down of 87.29 points. Okay, moving on to the next. Just it says here about coaching and support. We do a lot of stuff for free on YouTube, so you can join us there. We also have a closed coaching community, $21 a month, where you get access to our time in a more closed environment. Okay, so the US dollar. US dollar, extremely influential. Be aware of it. Even if you don't trade it, it will influence all of the other markets that we've looked at and then some. Current downwards climate with the dollar. Thick red dot, probability down. Usually, this market goes down for 6 candles. We're on candle number 2 that it continues down. Then we have sell orders just above us here at 91.435 to 91.165. And then buy orders here at 89.795 to 89.165. We're on our way By the looks of it, on the way to hit this buy UFO, we would expect that it pushes price up. That's, by the way, exactly what it did here. Price came in, hit a big stack of buy orders and went up from there. That's what we expect. What we would expect these buy orders to do again. We'll see what happens there, which side wins. In terms of volatility, we'd expect movement up or down in one day of 0.37 points. In 1 week, it's 0.81 points, and in 1 month, 1.68 points. Okay, so last market here is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is a little bit undecided at the moment. We have an unconfirmed climate, a thin dot, which tells us not enough probabilities either way. And when it comes to, we have sell orders just here at 65,000 even to 61,120, and then buy orders down here of 39,157.5 to 32,192.5. At the moment, we're much closer to the sell orders, much higher up here. Now, once we hit this stack of sell orders, we would expect a move down, because that's what happens when price hits these sell UFOs. So bear that in mind. But at the moment, overall unconfirmed anyway on the climate. In terms of movement, we'd expect movement up or down in one day of 3,324.64. In 1 week, it would be up or down of 7,318.86, and in 1 month, up or down of 15,235.43. So it's quite volatile compared to the others. Not good or bad, it just means it increases the risk, which could increase the reward. Be aware of that before you trade it. Now, you can also use the weekly economic calendar here that they have on FX Street. Filter by high impact news, and you'll see the scheduled reporting that's due to come out that may impact the markets, may have a high impact on the markets, and again, choose to avoid it or embrace it depending on how you feel about risk. Now, if you have any questions, you can self-schedule a clarification call with one of our experts, talk through the apps, the courses, the memberships, what's going to work best for you. You can also email me, becky@tradictive.com, or go to tradewithufos.com/Becky. Get yourself a free membership, and then you can ask me a question in a public space so that I can answer it in a public space. Like I said, you guys can email us if you'd like to. This was the market commentary for today. I'll be back tomorrow to go over that tomorrow. So I'll see you guys then. Actually, no, I won't be back tomorrow. It'll be my colleague Boyan will be back tomorrow. I'll be back on Thursday. So we'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back on Thursday, and I will